Gulotides. Retidy. Wow. What the fuck happened to my hairline? I feel like putting on a hat or some shit. I just woke up. So the last thing I did last night was play Perfect Tides. And I woke up this morning thinking, shit, I want to play Perfect Tides. I really think this game is good. Do some quick wire management here. What the fuck is going on with this shit, man? Fuck me in the fucking movies. I mean, come on. All right. We are in the library. We're in the Sucks library. We got to do this work. Because and I'm trying to finish my paper before tonight. Before class. I also got a party to go to tonight. I got to learn the last name of, forget his name. Trent? Troy? We'll see it in a second. You really don't want to sort these books. There must be some way to convince Jonna they don't need to be sorted today. Oh. So I'm going to have to talk to Jonna. Theo. Theo Vaughn. His last name is Vaughn, dude. I mean, let's go talk to Jonna then. Jonna, I really have to do my shit. What's up? Not much. Doing fine. Great. Let me know when you're done sorting those books. I will. If you want to avoid sorting the aforementioned books, you have to suggest an alternative to Jonna. She'll expect you to do your job otherwise. Jonna, what do you think about me? You're a lovely young woman, dear. Perhaps a little avoidant. Of carbs. Of criticism. What do you think about Daniel? I'm not familiar with Daniel. Does he come to the library much? Yeah, all the time. To be fair, you're far more conscious of Daniel's presence in the library than the average person. You don't want to be caught in an unflattering hunch when he walks by, especially if he's with friends. Well, be sure to introduce us next time. So I don't know. I don't think that Mara likes Daniel. I think that she's just like Daniel's really smart, and Daniel's like the person she like wants to be. And obviously I think she's gonna realize that Daniel's a fucking D-bag. Rosetta is quite the mover and shaker. She's in here quite often, pursuing our collections. Oh, yes. I know Theo. He's a sweet young man, asks a lot of questions. There's a hint of exhaustion in Jonna's voice. Do you happen to know his full name? I'm trying to know it without asking him. I'm afraid not, but he's so involved at SUCS. His name must show up often. What about his checkout history? Would his name be listed there? Goodness, Mara, that's confidential information. It's cool. I already know all the embarrassing stuff he reads. Sorry, I can't help. You'll have to find a more public database for your social conundrums. Fucking A. I know you've mentioned your boyfriend before. You should bring him in next time he visits. Can I ask her about herself? Ah! I didn't mean to leave. Oops. I hate to talk about myself, but if you've heard anything good, I'm sure it's true. Haha. Alright, well, let's, What do you want to know? I've lived here my whole life. She kind of reminds me of a Scooby-Doo character. A mix of two Scooby-Doo characters. She looks like a mix of Daphne and Velma. Like, I've been trying to place it this whole time subconsciously. She literally looks like a complete mix. How does the city compare to the rest of the world? Right? She looks like Daphne and Velma. That's fucking wild. That's gotta be her character design inspiration, right? It's gotta be! Mara, how can I possibly answer that if I've never lived anywhere else? Oh, right. That said, I'm pretty sure it's the best place on Earth. Okay, what about movies? I've been so busy lately I can't remember the last movie I've seen. Let me think. Oh, I saw this one called The Family Man. Nicolas Cage. Is that one the one where he wakes up and suddenly has a wife and kids? Yes, it's sweet. Did you see it? Nah, I don't really like those movies with invisible overnight magic. Invisible overnight magic? Yeah, like the magic isn't represented by an image or a practitioner of magic or a world where magic is established. It's usually just some cheap sound effect in the score, like a sparkle. Sparkle? Yeah, like when Nicolas Cage goes to bed, do you hear a little sparkle in the music to let you know his life has changed? I don't remember. That's probably how they did it. I hate that. Where did the magic come from? Higher, more power? God? So the audience needs to accept the existence of God to accept the premise? Yeah, I don't like that. I wouldn't say you need to accept it. Maybe just not be overtly hostile to it. Yeah, I don't like that. There must be a lot of art you don't like then. There certainly is. Why, yesterday I... Always nice talking to you, Mara. So, I actually had an idea. Am I going to apply this anarchism to not wanting to do the books? So, I actually had an idea. Yes? About sorting the books, I mean. Oh, how exciting. I'm always asking student workers to bring me their ideas, but none of them ever do. I would love to hear what you have in mind. Thank you. So, how do you want the books to be cataloged? The thing is, they don't. Mm-hmm. And I got the idea straight from the library itself. From the works of Peter Kropotnik. Petr Kropotkin, the anarchist. Ah, so you've read him. It's been a long time, I'll admit. But what does this have to do with the library? Jonna, let me ask you something. Say you're at a dinner party with a big group of people. Okay. When the meal is over and it's time to clean up, do you instinctively help gather up the dishes? Why, sure. Then you may already be an anarchist. It's intrinsic in all of us, you see, to contribute to society, free of hierarchical bounds. Is the Dewey Decimal System a hierarchical bound? I mean, sure, it helps people find a book, but does it help them find a book? There are hundreds of fascinating works on these shelves, each collecting dust in their appointed place, books just waiting to blow some student's mind. I agree with you there, but it's up to the librarian to guide them to the right book. Again with the hierarchies, students are perfectly capable of motivating themselves to learn. In the wake of this declaration, something appears to shift behind Jonna's eyes. It's as if some previously dormant sentiment, some forgotten dream, has been reignited. Well, Mara, if you have an alternative in mind, I suppose we don't need to sort these books. Great. Thanks, Jonna. I won't take up any more of your time. You'll bring me your proposal then, I trust? Your plan for restructuring the main stacks? I imagine you're looking for a self-managed approach. Yes. Great. Well, why don't you get started on that while the library is still quiet? We will have to deal with the book soon, of course. Can you present it to me tomorrow? Sure thing. Perfect. That should be plenty of time to organize what you've obviously considered so thoroughly already. Should be. Great. Thanks, Mara. Glad to see you taking initiative like this. What on earth have you gotten yourself into? This is going to be way more work than sorting those books would have been. Your stomach churns with the thought of letting Jonna down with such a cheap scheme. You're gonna have to see this through somehow. Fuck. Your boss, alright, so I have things to do. Well, you are in school after all. It's just a matter of time before you get an assignment, right? Your boss, Jonna, has asked you to submit us a proposal for the anarchist-themed reimagining of the library stacks. This is entirely your fault. All of your writing projects will appear here, along with all the information you'll need to submit them. You can access this menu anytime by clicking the pen and paper in the icon bar. Sick. More on this later when it's time to write. For now, it'll be pushed to the jumble at the back of your mind, where all non-urgent matters go. Anyway, seems you have the morning free. You can finally get online and prepare your schoolwork in no particular order. I want to see this. Whoa, this is fucking sick. Also, I kind of put my camera in the perfect spot for this shit. You like me? I love this fucking thing. Okay. For Walsh's class, write about portrayals of life in the city as reflected in contemporary media, an assignment you've already begun. So I think this city is supposed to be so generic, right? It's a West Coast city. I think maybe it's supposed to be like California or something, but nah, right or nah. Okay, so cool. God, I love this little cube. We in the cube, guys! Share! Crip walk. Yeah. You in this bitch like whoa. You in this bitch like whoa. You in this bitch like yeah. Yeah. You in this bitch like whoa. Yeah. Yeah. If I do it fast. You in this bitch like whoa. We in this bitch like whoa. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm like playing a game like B would play. Yo! I love this old Mac. You power on the Mac and log into your student account. Though a novel and coveted device just a few years ago, this computer has grown creaky with repeat use. But for your uses, writing and printing, email, messaging, and browsing the web, it does just fine. Ooh, I love the sounds. Oh, I can click this shit. Can I? Do you have time for web browsing this morning? After a quick calculation of whether you deserve this. And I do! You navigate to the Blowtorch Media blog, your go-to authority on pop culture and media. You quickly scan the week's album reviews and see if any new releases have garnered the coveted 1000% rating, or even a close contender in the 900 plus area. These albums tend to be of great cultural and historic significance to the people who read the Blowtorch review blog. Unfortunately, there are no new classics this week, but a couple of reviews in the 800 range catch your eye, and records of this caliber rarely let you down. You have to download some new music at home. Better make a note of it. Hell yeah. You better get back to the things you actually meant to do on the computer. You could sit here and read about albums you don't intend to listen to all day. I just searched music on Google. There is much buzz on the internet about MP3s and their impact on the music industry. In recent years, record labels have been at war with the various peer-to-peer networks that freely distribute their tracks, like fucking LimeWire, dude. I used to have that shit. As of this month, the American technology company Apple has opened a digital marketplace for MP3s, selling files legally for 99 cents a piece. You personally expect to stick to piracy, which is effortless, endlessly portable, and at a price that can't be beat. Yep. Used to do that shit too. A search for the city yields an official government website, which links to many subpages providing information about municipal services, urban planning, tourism, and news straight from the mayor's office. But all of this appears minuscule next to a splash page memorial of the infamous 2001 terror attack on the city's financial center, which claimed nearly 3,000 American lives. So, are we in New York? I mean, it's like 9/11, right? You do not seek out information about this event, which happened a year before you came to the city. In real-life discussion, the topic has become so charged, too often leading to weepy patriotic refrains and hysterical warmongering, that you immediately regret its conjuring. You know, this is so relevant to my life right now. I know it's a crazy thing to say, but the musical we chose for next year is basically about 9/11, and I feel a little uncomfortable with the like hyper patriotic sentiment that 9/11 kind of just like allows for people to do. I don't know, but yeah, I'm with Mara on this shit. Online, the discussion ranges from crazed racist conjecture to total ironic detachment and mockery of Lee Greenwood and the Crying Eagle. Occasionally, the line between these two sides can blur. What is Lee Greenwood? Lee Greenwood? Oh, it's the guy who sings, "God bless the USA." I love that guy. I mean, I don't know this guy, but I think that song, I fucking grew up on that shit. Yeah. It's this guy. Can I hear it? If tomorrow all the things were gone. Bro, I feel like I fucking had this album when I was a kid. God bless the USA. Yeah, sorry. That's just, listen to that song. Honestly, even though it's fucking patriotic and gross and disgusting, I think that he has a good voice. Occasionally the line between these two sides can blur. There's a crying eagle. I'm assuming it's in the music video or something. It's sad to you that such a massive loss of life cannot simply be mourned, nor can the why of it all be soberly evaluated. You resent the older generations who've offered you the meager choice to either tune out or be consumed by the madness of the age. I need to take a picture of this. Fuck, this is just so real. This is just so real. All right. Yeah, this is just, I had to get my phone and take a screenshot of it. Fucking awesome. Fuck this shit. Let me look up movies. The top result is the website MoviePhone, which provides, in addition to the aforementioned hotline, reviews, box office insights, and showtimes. The current top-grossing film is the comedy Anger Management, starring Adam Sandler and Jack Nicholson, which enjoyed a record-shattering $42 million in revenue on the week of its debut. How about Anarchism? I also like how the search thing is like Google-esque, like 90s Google-esque. The top result for anarchism is a Usenet forum that claims to have been in operation in some form since the 1980s. You'd hope to find a concise primer on political theory, or at least a rundown of best community practices, but the latest active threads all seem to involve one of the forum's top moderators, the accusations against him, and the naming and shaming of his many defenders. Finding it all indecipherable, you abandon your search. Can I look up myself? Much to your relief, there is almost no evidence of your online activity, at least when you attached your real name. I have a real name? A lot of your online communities over the years have disappeared on their own, and to see the rest of your posting trail, somebody would need to know the many and varied usernames you've taken over the years. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Can I look up Daniel fucking douchebag Davis? If Daniel uses his real name online, it's impossible to know. His name is so common and your results are so abundant that you can never find him this way. Yeah, man, you know, I should be working on my essay, but it's like what I do in my free time when I used to have social media. Just fucking look up random people. How about Rosetta? A search for Rosetta immediately produces a link to her portfolio website, which is extensive and well designed. Directly below this result, you find no less than 3 local news articles documenting shows in which Rosetta has participated in profiling her as an artist. You fear you'll begin to spiral into agony if you look at this for long, and so miraculously, you don't. I just look up Theo. No last name. It's a shot in the dark, but why not? You type Theo SUCS into the search engine. You only sort of mean that. Theo sucks. Well, look at that. Theo has a web presence. He was interviewed for the He was interviewed for the Suck Job website last year as part of an incoming student spotlight. It's an awesome school, says freshman Theo Newman. Found him. Who's part of the university's creative writing program. I'm here 3 weeks and I've already made at least 15 friends. Newman. Sheesh. Got him. Let's fucking go, baby. Look up my boyfriend. Searching for Adam leads to the website of Small Scribe Festival, a yearly event he would help. Sorry. A yearly event he would help organize through his university. The event in 2001, his last before graduating, was actually where you met him. It was a showcase of hot and upcoming authors and passed by in a blur. You ended up spending most of the weekend touring the campus with Adam, watching him meticulously arrange AV equipment while you yammered about your dreams. You even showed him some of the work you'd brought. Pieces you were ultimately too scared to submit for competition. He read them in silence next to you. You have rarely felt so exposed. At the same time, your words have never felt so powerful. Watching Adam read in admiration and delight, seeing the changes in his manner with every beat of prose, it's as if you'd offered him a map, and he was charting the shape of your heart as no one had ever had. Your goodbye was so urgent. You found him during the closing ceremonies, taking inventory in a half-lit corridor. You asked if he wanted to kiss you. The surging applause of the festival crowd was muted in the clutch of his embrace. There was so little time to make sense of it. Before you knew it, Adam was living and working back at home 300 miles away. You decided to commit yourself to him, to take a chance on real love, however distant and drawn. Damn. Sorry, I missed a part of that. And I just fucking missed it again. Fuck my boys, man. Shit, man. Fuck, man. So he graduated. He graduated in 2001. And I'm a freshman in 2003? So, Listen, shit, man. If I got this right, he's at university. He graduates in 2001. I'm a freshman in 2003. Is he like a 22-year-old fucking on a 16-year-old? Adam, really? Come on. Get your shit together, man. Fuck. Yeah. Okay. Let me look up Jana. Jana's name produces exactly one result. The library staff page on the Sucks website, which provides a description of her current and previous jobs alongside a competent-looking photo of Jana. So I get the same dialogue for Theo Newman? You're not getting any different results since your previous web search for Theo. Give it a rest, you stalker. Okay. Fine. Along with your home computer, this is where you get most of your writing done. Right now, your most pressing assignment is a paper you've already begun, but you don't have a copy on this computer yet. You sent the file to yourself yesterday, so it should be in your email inbox. None of your top shelf chat buddies are online right now. Just a bunch of secondary and non-recurring characters. At any rate, you're working on stolen time. You probably shouldn't chat the morning away. You sent this email to yourself yesterday. Your paper for class is attached. Paper! It's funny. Your paper is still a jumbled collection of ideas with no real editing. Clearly, I only have a fucking paragraph done. But coming back to it today, it's better than you thought it would be. This is the perfect opportunity to reorganize your thoughts. Time to start writing. Since this is your first time, let's do it together. Whenever you're at a computer, you can work on any of your assignments from this list. It's due today, and you're desperately trying not to think about the proposal. So, let's focus on city life and media. Okay? Once you've selected your assignment, click on Write to begin working on it. Bang. For each assignment, you'll draw from one primary and one secondary topic. For your primary topic, it's generally a good idea to stay relevant to the assignment. Unless I really want to go off the rails. Yes, well, take it easy with that. Not all assignments will have a clear primary topic, but when they do, your knowledge of that topic is the basis for a good paper. For instance, for your paper on city life in media, you should probably choose the city as your primary topic, unless you really want to confuse your professor. That can be pretty funny. Ah yes, you're quite the puppet master, aren't you, Mara? When your writing is poorly received, it's because you intended it that way, yes? I was just joking about writing something bad. You fell right into my trap. Anyway, let's select our primary topic. Yeah, the city. Hey, what's that rotating shape? It's the cube, guys! It's the cube, man! Why, the contents of your brain, of course. I thought the contents of my brain were scrambled eggs. Well, it mostly is, but we're working on that. Every topic in your brain has the chance to be developed. As you further your understanding of a topic, its shape will change. And that number in the lower left corner will go up? Well, I'm blocking it. It's a 0 right now. So maybe my camera isn't in the perfect spot. And that number in the lower left corner will go up? Exactly. When in doubt, using at least one well-developed topic can add a lot of flavor to your work. Got it. So complex ideas are better to write than underdeveloped ones. But what if all my ideas are underdeveloped? Then clearly you haven't been reading, conversing, or experiencing life.
All ideas will inevitably develop if you explore the world around you. But my paper is due immediately, and I don't have time to experience any more life. It's frustrating, isn't it? On any given day, you will need to choose between collecting more ideas and delivering your work on time. It's on you to try to make the most of each day while accepting the necessary compromises. So you're saying I can't have absolutely everything and no answers are concretely right or wrong? This sucks! And it will continue sucking with ever-growing urgency until death's sweet embrace. I really like this gameplay conceit. Like, as someone who likes writing, well, maybe I don't like writing, the act of writing. I like the feeling of having written something good. Like, and in college, like, I felt like, damn, I'm just so rushed to get this done, and I don't really know what to say. But also, you do have to compromise in order to, like, finish it and get your ideas out there. But also, at the same time, I think some people think that, like, writing is, like, just, like, sitting in a fucking room all day and, like, thinking and, like, pontificating and shit. But, like, no, man. You got to experience life first. You got to make that cube's number go up and shit. You know what I mean? The cube, man. We in the cube. We've always been in the cube, guys. We in the fucking cube, man. I got to expand my cube by going outside. Fuck, man. Shit, man. Fuck. Let's finish picking our primary topic now, shall we? Yeah, the city. Okay. Now a secondary topic. Hey, my topic changed color. That means you've already used it for this paper. Don't worry, it'll be available when you work on your next assignment. So I can reuse subjects in my writing? Sure, why not? All writers ruminate on the same themes, just don't lean on any one topic too much. You're still finding your creative voice after all. Okay, now that you have your primary writing topic, the fun begins. It's time to combine it with a secondary topic of your choosing. This can be anything you'd like. Anything? I'm on a deadline here. You can always take the safe route and stay relevant. For city life in media, that would mean selecting a media-related topic. Do you see anything like that here? Anarchism? I want to choose anarchism so bad. Is it going to deny me? I'm just curious. All right. That isn't exactly media. Fuck, I made a mistake. But maybe your knowledge on this subject will inspire you. It's worth a shot. All right, let's finish this paper. Oh no, I'm an idiot. I should have chosen fucking music. Well, this isn't bad. Considering you almost lost the time to senseless library work, you've certainly made the most of it. After a quick read through, you're satisfied with the paper. You're now ready to print. You send your file to the library printer. Once it comes out, you staple it together and take it with you. Well done. You finished your assignment in time for class. There's a good student in you yet. Any DMs? Nah. I want to read my paper. Shortly after you finish your tasks, the library fills with students. You are kept busy for the rest of the morning with shelving, tech questions, and checkouts. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking... Ah! Hey, I saw your nudes! I saw your fucking nudes, dude! Sorry. I better remember to hand this to Walsh. I want to read it. It's your homework assignment for Walsh's class. Don't forget to hand it in. This card offers free books that are no longer circulating in the school library. At the moment, nothing here is catching your eye. Second floor of the 419 East building is dedicated to all manner of SUCS-related facilities. This includes classrooms, administrative offices, and the school library where you work. The rest of the building is dedicated to specialty medical offices and luxury apartments. It's you, Mara Whitefish. You're 18 years old, and you want to be a writer. And according to at least one emotionally high-maintenance professor, you should already be calling yourself one. You're attending university in the city. You have a boyfriend named Adam who lives 2 states away. You don't see each other in person very often, but when you do, you more than make up for the time apart. That's right. You have sex with him. Not a huge deal. You grew up on a small, semi-remote island where you lived until about a year and a half ago. The city and the mainland from which you commute still holds such fresh promise to you. You have not been back to Perfect Tides since you left. The city and the mainland, okay. It's your boss, Jonna Swartz. She's the senior librarian at the Suck Student Center. You report to her at the start of every workday. Jonna is kind, soft-spoken, and shockingly patient. She encourages you to work on your own writing in your free time, and she has fielded more than one of your last-minute sick days with credulity and concern. This semester, you're trying hard not to disappoint her. Brittany has been working in the library for years. When you met her during a school tour, she was still a student herself. Since graduating and taking on a library position full-time, she's much more passionate about her job and libraries in general. You'd love to share her enthusiasm, but your work-study hourly wage isn't exactly conducive to that. This girl is frequently at the library poring over the shelves. You have occasionally helped her with an out-of-reach volume, a comical sight considering she's at least half a foot taller than you. And you saw her news, man! Shit! This journal is published by the school itself and is meant to highlight the visual, written, and performing works of its graduating class of 2002. You and the rest of the school will get around to looking at it eventually. And no one fucking reads those. These chairs are new, uncomfortable, and rarely used by library patients. You suspect the school added them as a colorful showpiece for their campus tours. The hard fabric reminds you of Perfect Tides and of your old friend Simon, whose home, owned by a rich and absent lover, was likewise furnished in defiance of life. This is a collection of popular fantasy titles prominently featured. This is a collection of popular fantasy titles prominently featured as Neil Gaiman's dark fantasy Coraline and Aragon by Christopher Paolini. The latter was famously written when the author was still in high school. The sight of this book makes you debilitatingly anxious, confirming your worst fear that your time as a writer has already come and gone. You'd prefer to pretend it didn't exist. I've read Coraline. It kind of sucks. You still haven't shaken the sting of Anthony Bourdain's words about vegetarians in Kitchen Confidential. Sky is always studying in the library. At closing time, the surprisingly intimate final stretch of your late shifts, he's frequently the last patron to leave. A more single, more desperate Mara would probably have tried to learn about him by now, but since your heart belongs to Adam, his pondersome face and unhurried perusal barely register. Angels and Demons by Dan Brown is the kind of book that paralyzes your opinion. Daniel calls it a perfect pop object, while Rosetta sneers at its male-leaning commercial dominance. I'm liking these, book descriptions. The Life of Pi appears to be a book about a man on a boat with a tiger. You'll be sure to read it if anyone ever tells you it's not. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants seems like a book you could easily trade in for a 400-page Oxford classic, which you could then trade for a massive Russian epic, which you could then leave under a pile on your nightstand for the rest of your life. You've yet to experience the critical mass of sociological pressures that would cause you to read Malcolm Gladwell's The Tipping Point. It has occasionally been your job to curate the featured books table at the library. The current selection, not yours, features a disproportionate amount of genre fiction. The library is clearly trying to move books. Follow the money, man. Owing their access to a large flatbed scanner, this row of computers is almost always occupied. What's this poster on the wall? This is a poster promoting a department-wide design exhibition from 2001. Although dated, its aesthetic value cannot be denied. This shelf is for works of literary fiction. While it rarely contains anything new, it is a rich source of classics you're ashamed to have not read by now. This shelf is for non-fiction texts. It covers everything from world history to contemporary design theory. Barring shelving work and specific class requirements, you don't spend much time looking at these books. I'm the same way, Mara. Shit, man, I don't really like non-fiction that much. I'm more of a fiction biddy myself. And I also feel like I haven't really read the classics. This shelf is specifically for the work of current students and celebrated alumni. The gulf between the two is noticeably vast. You feel awful for not knowing the name of this guy who's worked behind the circulation desk for months. He certainly knows yours. The school library boasts a modest collection of VHS, pared down considerably from its former greatness. The plan is for every title to eventually be available more permanently on DVD. Given how bulky and low-fidelity cassette tapes are, you support the initiative for an all-digital archive. Still, you've noticed some lost or damaged cassettes falling through the cracks of the upgrade process. This is one of the handful of curated cases maintained around the library. It contains documents and publications related to the history of SUCS, as well as contemporary student anthologies. You like this mural and spend an inordinate amount of time mapping its details with your eyes. Of course, you find yourself looking at it hardest when you have work to do around the library. Boredom is the mother of inspection. This is fucking awesome. Literally everything has a description. I didn't realize that until now. Sorry guys, this is the description reading podcast. This trash can runneth over at the end of every semester. You can't imagine throwing away your schoolwork as readily as some of your fellow students, but their joy in the ritual can't be denied. You used to drink from this fountain pretty often until the day you saw students sitting on it with his whole ass so far back that the drinking spout seemed to be entering it. Now you buy Diet Coke from the school vending machine. That's so funny. You check this bulletin board eagerly for the first few weeks of school, hoping to find fun events, freelance opportunities, and practical resources. Unfortunately, it's mostly used to promote boring-looking student exhibitions, off-campus rooms for rent, and at astronomical prices, and random ad-busters clippings. The next floor up is actually an entirely different building full of medical experts and state-of-the-art imaging equipment. You have no business up there. Better not wander around right now. Class is about to begin. Oh, this is my class. Shit, right next to work? Here we go with fucking Daniel Davis. Fuck you, Daniel. You're a fucking bitch. I can look at his fucking face, man. Look at his fucking face. He looks like a douchebag. Douche nozzle, man. Fuck you, Daniel. Fuck you, Daniel, bitch ass Daniel. Sorry. Love my friend Daniel in real life, but not this Daniel. Media studies class begins the way it usually does, with you arriving early, claiming your unsought after desk up front, and wondering anxiously if Daniel will show up. Sorry, I gotta put the episode titles. I forgot about that. He does, and then another wave of concern washes over you. Your performance in this class is oddly staked upon both Daniel and Walsh's approval. You've never had a teacher you wanted to impress more. At the same time, Daniel is your only classmate who questions the educators at SUCS in a way that seems pointed and not queerly individualized. Walsh, in light of this, is a formidable opponent. Even as Daniel pokes at the basis of her ideas, you can't help but see them for their gold. She seems unfazed by even the harshest interrogations. Why not show it then? Why does so much have to be artfully implied? Daniel, we all know you want to see more boobies. Fresh off a screening of the film Adaptation 2002, you've been discussing the outside demands, both recognizable and hidden, imposed on a writer as they craft a work for an audience. Now wait, Daniel. You may have a point. Why, indeed. Whether it's books, TV, film, when the sex begins, the scene ends. We skip ahead to the aftermath. Why? Look at the back of this person's chair. It says gay. LOL. Content restrictions? Well, sure. The media channel provides the budget and the distribution, and in turn, we fit their standards. But what about authors and directors who make this choice, commit this act of self-censorship, regardless of their constraints? I'm talking about films and novels for adults. Don't these too shy away from graphic or even artful depiction? And what about students? Free as they are to express such things, they often write very conservatively. We just don't want to give you our best material, Walsh. Clearly not. Hey. My question stands. Is it possible that both artist and audience have trained their expectations? And with the proliferation of media in our lives, does that not affect how we engage with reality? It's true, man. Wake up, guys. I'll put it another way. When it comes to the primal act in question, boobies and sex, writers seemingly only want to concern themselves with the events leading up to the consummation, and then its aftermath. I posit that, in turn, this is how we start to view sex in our own lives. A sort of blackout moment, a temporary loss of perception. We come to see intimacy as an inscrutable obstacle on an otherwise smooth narrative track, as something stories can only guide us towards. The rest is up to us. Can art not offer comfort and catharsis around sex, much as it does for topics like faith, struggle, and death? I mean, maybe it's not a useful part of the story. It's in bad taste. Pornographic. What do we think? Mara? Do you agree? Is sex a useful part of storytelling, or merely pornographic? Yeah, honestly, bro, I think it's useful. She brings up a really good point. Like, so much of the media we consume about sex has nothing to actually say about the act of it. And this kind of connects to that anarchism shit, man. Fuck. We feel like maybe this obligation to hide it, but I think it's useful. I think it's useful. There are things you can show rather than tell. What sort of things? Boobies? Mara, what sort of things? Well, like, what if there's shame involved? Or inexperience? Something you want to tell us, Mara? No? Fuck you! Fuck you, Daniel! Fuck off. Daniel has some nerve. You know for a fact he has less experience than you. He's an incel bitch. I hate him. Guys, please. Now, Mara, I'm not trying to single you out here. I think you're onto something. The pressure to perform, and perhaps more urgently to report our success, is all around us. Who can claim to be immune? For your next essay, I want you all to think about the universality of desire, the ways and reasons we tend to suppress it, and what can be communicated in character, theme, and beyond through its expression. I'm horny. Please use any media you wish to flesh out your case. It will be due next class. For Walsh's class, write about the expression of desire across media. Easy enough. Try not to repeat yourself. See you all in 2 days. Sex. Oh yeah, I gotta ask everyone about sex now. Shit. Good class today. Thanks. Sure thing. Did you hand in your paper yet? Oh, right. My paper about anarchism in the city. Now listen. I don't know if I should really hand it to you, but fuck, man, shit, man, fuck. Can I talk to her? You're a pleasure to have in this class. You mean it? Well, yes, but you're also interrogating me about my opinion of you. Do you expect me to say something rude? So you don't mean it? Here's an exercise for you. Take people at their word unless they've proven themselves to be liars. Most people are either telling the truth or trying to destroy my life. sparing you embarrassment. Oh, give it a shot, Missy. What do you think about Daniel? Daniel's a brilliant student, though I'll never let him steer the class in the direction he'd like. Yeah, I won't tell him you said that. Puff. Please, I tell him that every day. Tell him as much as you'd like. Give him a whole box of that information with a bow on top. Oh yes, I've had Rosetta in class before. She's a very driven young woman. Would you say she's more driven than me? Mara, you know I won't give you anything if you ask me to compare my students. Just between you and me, I won't tell anyone your answer. I'm certain you won't, because I won't give you an answer. I like how it says feet on the board. Feeling, expression, engagement, and Timu. Or whatever the fuck the last one is. What do you think about my boyfriend? Can I bring him around the next time he visits? Sure, why don't you do that? Bet after all this time you're wondering if he really exists or not. No, I can assure you I spend very little time wondering whether your boyfriend exists or not. I love Jana. Always so helpful. A bit of a nervous Purvis, though. Nervous Purvis? Sorry, I've never heard of that student. But Theo said he took one of your classes over the summer. Nope, don't remember. Wow. I believe you, though. It's just unusual I forget a student so quickly. No, I think I get it. Uh-oh. He just sucks. Fucking Theo. Walsh has never employed the whiteboard or note-taking of any sort in her lessons. Perhaps that's because they are so inherently broad and engaging, you can't help but absorb what she's saying. On the other hand, a missed class feels like an entirely vanished experience never to be recovered. You sometimes wish there were more words worth writing down, more for you to keep. Yeah, I had a professor like that in college. Her name was Dr. Roy. Just loved listening to her. You don't like to sit at any of these desks. They are too visible while simultaneously doing nothing to distinguish you. This space resembles every humanities classroom you've seen at SUCS. The only thing notable about this particular room is a distinct smell of bagels and fried potatoes from the alleyway below. Jemima. Her name is Jemima. Jemima Walsh, age indiscernible, is an accomplished poet, playwright, novelist, and occasional screenwriter. She lives in the city and is your favorite teacher at SUCS. You find that Walsh's philosophies massively influence the way you write, act, and even think. Her presence would almost seem invasive if not for your desperate wish to emulate what she has achieved. Yep, that was Dr. Roy for me, let me tell you. Just wanted to emulate her in some way. The floors at SUCS are better maintained than the ones at Bell Ta High. This was, to your dismay, the first observation you heard from Mom during your tour of the campus. Excuse me, teacher. What do you think about sex? How deep into the topic of sex am I supposed to get into this for this paper? I wouldn't get terribly personal, if that's what you mean. You can paint it in broad strokes. That's sort of the problem for me. I tend to get terribly personal. The truth about my life always comes out. Details about your life don't always reflect the truth. At least, not the truth you might have intended. So be careful with that. Righto. What do you think about music? I bet you think I'm only into the oldies. You'd be dead wrong. Yeah? What new music do you like? Have you heard Alicia Keys? That woman has talent. Yeah, that album came out like 2 years ago. Well, in my defense, 2 years is not that long when you're in my age. Just trying to keep you honest, Walsh. This bitch loves Alicia Keys. God, fuck me, I gotta blow my nose again. What about movies? See any good films lately? Let's see, I saw a terrific one last week. City of God? Just spectacular, not to be missed. Oh yes, from 2002, right? Would you say it's one of your picks for the year? It's not my anything. I just enjoyed it. I just mean, how does it rank? I don't like to rank or categorize works of art. They already are commodified enough. But I'd never know what art to pay attention to if someone didn't rank it. What's the alternative? Having conversations like these, I suppose. The conversation trails off after this You both seem to be similarly exhausted by it. You know, that's so true, dude. I also have had these thoughts lately about, like, do I need to rank everything I see? Do I need to, like say if it's good or not? Do I need to, like, determine whether something is good or bad? Or can I just, like, have conversations about what it's doing and how it makes me feel? Like, for example, after playing Mixtape, I was like, was I too focused on how bad it was? I mean, I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. It didn't hit me at a point in my life where I, like, cared about it. But, like, I think the conversation too quickly becomes, like, is it good or worth it or bad? And that's, like, so commodifying. You were saying something about the city the other day, and I wondered if we could talk about that some more. Oh, what was it? Remember how you said the city is all cleaned up for now? How it's a totally different landscape? Oh, yes. Did that bother you? Well, I just got here, and now I'm wondering if I'm in the right place. Oh, Mara, please don't take it that way. I grew up here. We can't have the same lives, you and I. A place is always changing. That's inevitable. And just as inevitable are the complaints of its residents. Haha. That's how you'll know you're really dug in somewhere. When you know it well enough that it becomes unrecognizable. Has anything stayed the same since you were young? A lot of things are the same. There's real history here. Things I once took for granted that I love now. You ever feel that way about your home? I don't know. I haven't gone back in a while. Too many bad memories, I guess. Ah, well, the city isn't the only place with a history. With significance. For me, it is. Feels like my life has begun since I got here. It's nice to feel that way. I hope you make some good memories here. They might even help you make sense of the bad ones. Well, look at that! I got so now there's a 1 underneath my face for the city. Well, look at that. You've learned something. Anytime a conversation or experience adds to your knowledge, your level in that topic will rise, and the shape of your understanding will change. Some of these shapes get pretty gnarly, eh? Collect them all. So now we no longer in the cube, guys! We in the fucking Cubagon or some shit. I don't even know, man. Fuck, man. Shit. Let's talk about anarchism. Nice try, Mara. No student has roped me into a conversation about anarchy since the early 90s. Oh, she won't talk about it? Okay. Well, fuck you then. I'll give you my paper. I can't drag it. Shit, she's gonna hate this paper if it's about anarchy. Here's mine. Alright, I look forward to reading it. Hope you won't let your peers discourage you, Mara. Much to your distraction, you light up to hear Walsh address you by name. So few of your professors, let alone your favorite ones, ever do. Haha, okay. That's so true. Not a lot of my professors in college said my name. When they did, it made me feel special. I should say more students' names. It's not always easy to say what's on your mind in front of the class. Thanks. I've been trying to have my own opinions, ignore the popular consensus. It's good to form your own thoughts, yes. Though I wouldn't discount what others say. The consensus can help inform the topics you write about. Your knowledge and your writing will grow richer if you can see a topic from many perspectives. Even low-quality perspectives? Just keep it in mind. I'll see you in 2 days. Okay, bye. Can I ask her about herself? I'm nobody to write home about, really. Kind of hurts when Walsh doesn't notice me. I don't know how else to describe it. Well... yeah. I'm on a crib walk. Ready? Dance with me, Walsh. on, Walsh. Hit it. Okay, that's enough. You like me? All right. Time to save. We in the hallway. I think that's got to be the end of this episode. We learned a lot of shit about Mara. I like Mara. And I like you. And this is Gulotides. Glacier to glacier.